Welcome to this explainer. Picture this for just a second. Heavy glass jars lining rustic wooden shells, the subtle mist of a steaming infusion, all illuminated by soft, warm candlelight. It's a beautiful, comforting image, isn't it? But today, we're blowing the dust off the pages of those old herbal guides to talk about something crucial: safety. We are here to debunk that incredibly dangerous, widespread myth that natural automatically means safe. The truth is, old herbal knowledge is incredibly powerful, but only when handled with deep respect. Let's dive right into this core misconception. The belief that because something is natural, it must be completely harmless is a trap so many beginners fall into. Just because a plant grows from the earth doesn't mean it's safe for you. Figuring out how to handle herbs actually requires careful education and botanical respect. It's not just pouring hot water over whatever leaves you stumble across. So we're going to walk through 5 critical mistakes beginners make, not to scare you away, but to make sure you learn these forgotten remedies the right way. Chapter 1: The Art of Preparation. We often assume that making an herbal remedy is exactly like brewing a standard cup of morning tea. But let's look at how the physical handling and preparation completely changes a plant's safety and effectiveness. Take mullein, for example. It's one of the most recognizable herbs in traditional medicine, historically used for throat comfort. It's got these tall yellow flowers and large, famously soft, fuzzy leaves. But here's the catch. Steeping those fuzzy leaves without filtering out the microscopic, irritating leaf hairs is a massive beginner mistake. If you swallow that unstrained cup, it's literally like swallowing microscopic splinters. You'll be left feeling scratchy and irritated, which entirely defeats the purpose of a soothing drink. So preparation matters deeply. You can't just casually dump this infusion through a wide kitchen sieve. You need a fine mesh strainer, a thick layer of cheesecloth, or even a coffee filter, and honestly, you should strain it twice. That deliberate, careful filtering is the absolute difference between soothing seasonal throat comfort and a highly painful experience. Mullein teaches us right away, not every herb is simply steeped in hot water and instantly consumed. Now consider the secret of the marshmallow plant: mucilage. Long before marshmallow was a sugary white candy roasted over a campfire, it was a plant. The root of this plant is valued for a gel-like substance called mucilage, which gets incredibly thick, smooth, and slippery when mixed with water. This plant relies on mucilage for its amazing gut-soothing and throat-coating properties. But it only works if you prepare it correctly. Beginners will often mistakenly boil marshmallow root like peppermint tea, expecting a quick fix. But boiling water actually destroys the exact texture we're looking for. The traditional way to extract that gentle, slippery gel is a slow, cold infusion. You place the dried, earthy dark roots in a clean glass jar, cover them in cool water, and just let them sit in the quiet hours of the night. It requires patience. That slippery, viscous liquid you get the next day is exactly the point of the remedy. But remember, gentle absolutely does not mean powerless. And even the most soothing herbs need profound respect. That very same slippery gel that coats your throat and stomach, it can actually block your body from properly absorbing other oral medications. Because it forms a thick barrier, taking it at the exact same time as a prescription pill could literally prevent your medication from working. Gentle is never synonymous with harmless. Chapter 2: The Danger of Misapplication. Let's turn the page in our apothecary ledger to a highly popular natural product that beginners tragically misunderstand, often with pretty painful consequences. The mistake happens when we lump all natural remedies into one big bucket. Look, an herbal tea is gentle and generally safe to drink, right? But an essential oil is a highly concentrated, volatile compound strictly for external use. People assume that if a product like tea tree oil is natural and works wonders for clearing up a skin blemish, it must be completely safe to swallow for internal health. No. Ingesting tea tree oil is a highly dangerous mistake. It is not an herbal tea, and it is certainly not a tonic. Dose and form matter immensely. Essential oils are incredibly concentrated extractions. They are absolutely not casual home remedies to just drop into your mouth or your water glass. And even on the skin, undiluted tea tree oil can cause severe redness, burning, and itching. Powerful things deserve deep caution. You always have to know exactly what form of the plant you are holding in your hand. Chapter 3: The Wild Unknown. There is this deeply romanticized idea of walking into the woods or your backyard with a woven basket to harvest fresh remedies. But this practice carries some significant invisible risks. Beginners often rush out to pluck a weed they just saw in a quick online video,
completely ignoring the environment it grew in. A vibrant, clean-looking green plant can easily harbor invisible harmful toxins. You absolutely must avoid harvesting from roadsides coated in exhaust fumes, lawns sprayed with herbicides, industrial drainage ditches, and anywhere near pet waste. You definitely do not want to steep a toxic poultice.
Mistaken identity out in the wild is another massive risk. For example, plantain leaf is a common backyard weed used in skin salves, but a banana plantain? That's a starchy tropical food you fry up in a pan. Same exact word, entirely different entities. Confusing names or picking dangerous lookalikes out in the wild is a gamble you just don't want to take. Until your botanical identification skills are absolutely flawless, the safest option is simply sourcing high-quality, dried herbs from trusted, verifiable purveyors. Confidence in herbalism should come from deep knowledge, not from guessing. Chapter 4. The Individual Vessel. Now we focus our apothecary lantern on perhaps the most vital lesson of all, how the exact same herb acts entirely differently depending on the specific human body taking it. You see ashwagandha absolutely everywhere right now, don't you? It's in capsules, powders, gummies, stress blends, sleep formulas. Because it's so aggressively marketed and highly popular, beginners naturally assume it must be universally safe for everyone. But it's not. Having a rich history in traditional Ayurvedic medicine does not mean a plant is a magic, harmless bullet for modern consumers. The herb itself is really only half the story. Your own biological makeup, your current medications, and your underlying health conditions completely dictate whether an herb is a helpful remedy or a dangerous risk. If you're pregnant, dealing with thyroid or autoimmune issues, or taking blood pressure medication, ashwagandha could trigger serious sensitivities or interactions. You are the vessel, and the vessel matters just as much as the root. And this personal caution extends way beyond ashwagandha. Licorice root, kava, St. John's wort, golden seal, these are incredibly common herbs sold in practically every health store. Yet they all demand that you slow down. You can't just copy internet trends and start taking 5 new herbs all at once. You must rigorously check for interactions with your specific health profile and medications before adding them to your routine.
Conclusion: respecting the old ways. We finish our journey today by returning to the careful, informed traditions of herbalism, emphasizing respect over fear. Herbs connect us to the earth, to home gardens, and to forgotten knowledge. But they are not magic, and they certainly aren't toys.
A wise, grounded herbal routine always starts with asking the hard questions. Is this just a mild discomfort, or is this something that actually needs medical attention? If someone is struggling to breathe, has chest pain, or has symptoms that are rapidly getting worse, that is not a tea situation. That is a medical emergency. You must ensure you never ever use natural herbs as a dangerous replacement for professional, modern medical care. As the necessary old apothecary's disclaimer states, this explainer is for educational purposes only. Always, always consult a qualified healthcare professional before mixing herbs with medications, or if you're pregnant, nursing, or managing a medical condition. And if you want to keep learning the right way, check out the Source's free 5 Unknown Herbs Guide for more safe basics on teas, poultices, and gargles. So as we close this heavy botanical ledger and blow out the candle, I want you to ask yourself one final critical question before you harvest, steep, or swallow your next natural remedy. Will you treat your next herbal remedy as a casual internet trend or as a powerful botanical tradition that demands your knowledge and respect? Remember, the best remedies aren't just natural. They are careful, they are informed, and above all, they are respected.